Good evening and welcome back to One TV News with me, Esma. The Telugu Desam Party, the TDP, has suspended the MLA Konti Adhimulam following serious allegations of sexual harassment. The controversy emerged when a senior female leader from the Satyavedu constituency in Chittoor district accused Adhimulam of molestation and sexual misconduct during a press conference in Tirupati. She presented a video evidence secretly recorded with a pencil camera alleging the Adhimulam engaged in inappropriate behavior last month at a hotel in Tirupati. According to the woman, Adhimulam used party functions to obtain her contact details, lured her to his hotel room under the pretense of a meeting and subjected her to sexual harassment. She also claimed that he threatened her and her family with death and raped her on 3 separate occasions at the same hotel. In response, the TDP has suspended Adhimulam and promised a transparent investigation into the matter, assuring that all necessary justice measures will be taken.
ఎవరు లేదు, ప్రశాంతంగా ఉన్నది. ఎమ్మెల్యే గారు మాత్రమే రూమ్లో ఉన్నారు. నేను వెంటనే రూమ్లోకి వెళ్ళడం నా పైన బలాత్కారానికి పాల్పడిన తర్వాత నేను అతనికి లొంగిపోవడం జరిగిన తర్వాత ఈ విషయం ఎక్కడైనా బయట చెప్పావంటే నేను చంపేస్తాను, నీ కుటుంబాన్ని చంపేస్తాను అని చెప్పి బెదిరించడం జరిగింది. అందువల్ల నేను ఎవరికి చెప్పుకోకుండా నేను సైలెంట్గా ఉండిపోయాను. మళ్ళీ ఇంకొకసారి ఫోన్ చేసి నువ్వు కానీ రాలేదంటే నేను మళ్ళీ నీ కుటుంబాన్ని, నీ భర్తని చంపేస్తానని చెప్పి నన్ను బెదిరించడం ద్వారా నేను మళ్ళీ అక్కడికి భీమా ప్యారడైస్కి వెళ్ళడం జరిగింది. వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత నేను పూర్తిగా ఆయన్ని అవాయిడ్ చేస్తూ వచ్చాను. నేను అవాయిడ్ చేశానని తెలుసుకున్న అతను నాకు పదే సైకోలాగా నిమిషానికి ఒకసారి ఫోన్ చేయడం జరిగింది. అది గుర్తించిన నా భర్త, ఎమ్మెల్యే నీకు ఎందుకైతే ఇన్నిసార్లు కాల్ చేస్తున్నాడని చెప్పి నా మొబైల్ ఇంచేసి నన్ను కొట్టడం, నన్ను బెదిరించడం చాలా చేశాడు. చేసిన తర్వాత నేను ఆ బాధను భరించలేకుండా నాకు జరిగిన బాధని నేను ఆయనతో వివరించినప్పుడు నా భర్త ఇలానే నీకే జరిగిందా, చాలామందికి జరిగిందా అన్నప్పుడు చాలా మహిళలు, గవర్నమెంట్ ఎంప్లాయీస్ కూడా ఉన్నారు ఇందులో, మహిళలు చాలామంది బలైపోతున్నారు చెప్పినప్పుడు ఆయన సూచించాడు నన్ను ఈ చాలామంది మహిళల్ని కాపాడుకొని మనం బ్రతకాలి, మనం కాపాడుకోవాలని చెప్పి ఆయన నాకు ఒక పెన్ కెమెరాని అరేంజ్ చేసి ఇవ్వడం జరిగిన తర్వాత ఆగస్టు 10వ తారీఖు భీమాస్ ప్యారడైస్కు 1:30 వెళ్ళడం జరిగింది. అక్కడ జరిగిన కామ క్రీడలను నేను రికార్డ్ చేసుకొని తీసుకొచ్చి నా భర్తకి ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. అటు తర్వాత నేను మంగళగిరి పార్టీ ఆఫీస్ గారికి, పెద్దబాబు గారికి, చిన్నబాబు గారికి ఇద్దరికి నేను తెలియజేయడం జరిగింది. వాళ్ళ ద్వారా మాకు పిలుపు వస్తుందని ఇన్ని రోజులు వెయిట్ చేశాము. తర్వాత ఈ విషయం ఆయన తెలుసుకొని నన్ను బ్లాక్మెయిల్కి గురి చేయడము, మా ఇంటి చుట్టూ 4-5 మందిని పంపించి నన్ను వెతకడం చేస్తున్నాడు. నాకు ప్రాణహాని ఉంది, ప్రాణ భయంతో నేను ఇక్కడికి రావడం జరిగింది. అంతేకాకుండా ఇలాంటి చీడ పురుగులు తెలుగుదేశం పార్టీలో ఉన్న రోజులు తెలుగుదేశం పార్టీకి మంచి పేరు రాదని చెప్పి బాబు గారికి తెలియజేస్తున్నాను. అయ్యా బాబుగారు, నేనేదో తెలుగుదేశం పార్టీని కించపరచాలని చెప్పి నేను ఇక్కడికి రాలేదు. అతను
On September 5, 2024, the Supreme Court reserved its verdict on Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's bail plea and challenge against his arrest by the Central Bureau of Investigation or CBI in the excise policy case. Earlier, a bench denied him interim bail and had given the CBI time to file an encounter affidavit. The CBI argued that Kejriwal's arrest was necessary due to his evasiveness and distinct role in the case. Kejriwal's lawyer A.M. Sanghvi noted that Kejriwal was arrested on June 25, 2024 after being in judicial custody from a previous Enforcement Directorate ED case. Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju pointed out that Kejriwal had not undergone the same bail process as his co-accused. The Delhi CM was initially arrested by the ED on March 21, 2024 and remains in custody following his subsequent arrest by the CBI. BJP leader Shubhendu Adhikari has requested President Draupadi Murmu and Home Minister Amit Shah to revoke the President Police Medal and Police Medal awarded to the Vineet Goyal, the Kolkata Police Commissioner. Adhikari's appeal follows severe criticism of the West Bengal administration over the rape and murder of the junior doctor at RG Kar Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata. He alleges that Goyal was involved in destroying evidence and mishandling the case, citing media reports of his inaction during vandalism at the hospital. Adhikari accuses Goyal of sabotaging the investigation to protect political interest and cover up corruption in the health sector. The victim's family has also alleged that Kolkata police offered them money to influence their response.
Disclosures have been made by the parents which show how Mamata Banerjee's government was interested not in Beti ko Nyay Dilao, but Saboot Mitao, Satya ko Chupao and Balatkari Bachao. The parents have spoken of how the Bengal police was trying to bribe them. The DC North tried to bribe them to settle the case. Why was this being done? At whose behest? Who was being protected? Also, when they wanted to preserve the body, the cremation was hurried up. There were several family members that were present at the cremation.
In August 2024, India's total number of dematerialized or demat accounts which hold shares and securities electronically surpassed 17 crore for the first time, reaching 17.11 crore. The milestone was achieved within 42.3 lakh new accounts opened in August, slightly fewer than July's 44.44 lakh, but significantly higher than the 31 lakh added in August 2023. India now ranks 9th globally in total demat accounts, exceeding the populations of countries like Russia, Ethiopia, Mexico and Japan, and nearing Bangladesh's population. The count surpassed 16 crore just 2 months ago, and since January 2023, over 6 crore new demat accounts have been added. In 2024 alone, 3.18 crore new accounts have been opened, surpassing the 3.18 crore additions in 2023. ISRO Chairman S. Somnath highlighted the growing need for advanced cybersecurity tools due to expanding space capabilities and evolving technological landscapes, emphasizing that while ISRO is making significant progress, the threats are substantial and requires continuous vigilance. He noted the importance of securing data and assets in critical space and satellite options. Somnath praised ISRO's self-reliant approach to technology, mentioning tools like FEAST and the analysis of collision possibilities, which are highly regarded in the field. He also stressed ISRO's focus on cost effectiveness and frugality, pointing out the success of their in-house developed software, including computational fluid dynamics CFD tools, which are set to be commercially available.
So, I believe that you are a PhD holder in the domains of life sciences. Definitely we will be in a position to take new recruits in that domain. Right now we do not have in ISRO. With the human spaceflight program now getting priority, it also being on a sustained manner when we are conducting, we have to develop those competencies and capabilities to look at bioastronautics, human physiology and related topics. And it is important for us to create such a pool of scientists who work in this in a continuous manner, and we will be looking at such expertise in the future. Definitely we should look for your expertise and skill, but what I will request you is that we have a live register for PhD holders in our ISRO website. You can register there and be available, and we will look at it whenever we are in need of and ready for advertising our post when it is open.
On Thursday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed India's ambition to replicate Singapore's success within the country during talks with Singaporean Prime Minister Lawrence Wong. Modi highlighted Singapore as an inspiration for developing nations and emphasized collaborative initiatives in areas such as skilling, digitalizing, advanced manufacturing, semiconductors and AI. He congratulated Wong on his new role and praised the strong bilateral relationship, noting that trade between India and Singapore has more than doubled over the past decade and mutual investments have surged to over $150 billion. Modi also highlighted India's stable political environment and rapid growth in semiconductors and startups, particularly in their 2 and 3 tier cities.
के लिए मैं आपका हार्दिक धन्यवाद करता हूं। आपके प्रधानमंत्री पद ग्रहण करने के बाद ये हमारी पहली मुलाकात है। मेरी तरफ से आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई और हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। मुझे विश्वास है 4G के नेतृत्व में सिंगापुर और अधिक तेजी से प्रगति करेगा। एक्सेलेंसी, सिंगापुर केवल एक पार्टनर देश नहीं है, सिंगापुर हर विकासशील देश के लिए एक प्रेरणा है। हम भी भारत में अनेकों सिंगापुर बनाना चाहते हैं।
Retired Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma praised India's achievements in space science and technology, noting the global admiration for India's cost-effective approach. Sharma highlighted that India has achieved significant milestones such as Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan on its first attempts and commended the fragility of India's space program compared to other nations that spend more for similar data. Reflecting on the evolution of India's space sector, Sharma contrasted the past focus on geopolitical competition between Russia and the US with today's emphasis on practical applications that benefit Indian economy and people. On the birth anniversary of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, the US Embassy in India honored him by sharing rare photographs from the 1963 visit to the United States. The images showcasing a warm reception where President John F. Kennedy and First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy at the White House highlighted a key moment in US-India relations. The embassy's social media post included a quote from Dr. Radhakrishnan, "Books are means by which we build bridges between cultures," reflecting his belief in learning and cross-cultural understanding. The photos depicting the Kennedys' warm welcome underscored the global respect Dr. Radhakrishnan commanded. The tribute resonated widely with many users praising his contributions to education and diplomacy. The Global Artificial Intelligence Conference 2024 was officially inaugurated at HICC in Hyderabad today. The two-day event was inaugurated by Chief Minister Revanth Reddy and IT Minister D. Sridhar Babu. During the opening ceremony, Chief Minister expressed the government's commitment to advancing reach and applications in the field of AI and unveiled the new logo for AI City. The conference aims to enhance collaboration with AI partners and promote technological innovations. IT Minister Sridhar Babu reaffirmed the state government's dedication to the use and development of AI, stressing the need for stringent controls under democratic processes. He highlighted AI's emerging role as a crucial tool for economic development and emphasized the focus on its responsible use.
Thank you, Sridhar Babu Garu and Jayesh Ranjan. Today is Teachers' Day. ఇక్కడ చాలామంది టీచర్లు ఉన్నారని నేను భావిస్తున్నా. టీచర్స్ డే శుభాకాంక్షలు. Honored guests, esteemed colleagues, and AI experts. Nothing will change society and lives as technology and innovation. When first railway train and engine were invented, it changed the world. The first aeroplane changed the world forever. The innovation of electricity or bulb, TV, camera, computer, they all changed the world. Today, a greatest of technology innovation is here, artificial intelligence. When any new technology comes, it brings both hope and fear. Hope of how it will make our lives better and fear of disruption of jobs. If we think of India's future, no city is as perfectly ready for a revolution as Hyderabad. In our city, we not only embrace future, but we also create it. Our commitment to artificial intelligence is not now. We have already taken big steps for AI. We want to lay a strong foundation for our future. Telangana AI Mission or TAIM in partnership with NASSCOM will help us implement AI framework in Telangana. We will continue to bring government and industry experts together.
That's all for today. Be connected for more updates with me, Esma.